call to order the meeting for the Wabash County Drainage Board for August 4th, 2025. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes. For any corrections, comments?
Make a motion approval of minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Sit down. Next on agenda, Dave Turflinger.
Okay. Dave Turflinger regarding a permit that you approved last month. Have to be real careful here because there's a couple members of the planning commission here. Brought a photograph, I'll pass around. You approved a permit for Combs at 64 West Lakeside Drive to put in a gazebo. Okay, and I've been through the mill for the last year and a half. And with the amount of fill that he put in the boulders that he put 1 foot from the property line, under state law, I'm allowed to fill because he put our beach in a hole. I'm allowed to fill and match his grade. If I do that, I can't put anything on his property. So we're gonna create a 3 foot by 1 foot deep ditch with straight sides between the two property lines. That's gonna put silt right in the lake. And when item shows up, their issue won't be with me. And I don't believe that this board had all the information when you approved this. Number one, my understanding is, and I wasn't here at the meeting, that his new gazebo has to be 10 feet off the property line. My contention is those boulders tucked into the hill, like my fingers right here, represent the foundation of the original pergola that the planning commission ordered removed. So my question to you is, what do we do? Do we make him move the boulders over 10 feet where his new permit is and restore the grade to what it was so that we don't have this ditch? And the other thing that you need to know is, I don't know what the square footage of his lot that was used to calculate the permeability. But his lot is not 7,200 square feet, it's 7,000. And that's by a registered survey by John Stevens, if you multiply the length and the width. And because it's hard to make people understand. Previous owners had dug a hole down and made a walkout basement that was, the floor of the house was, the basement floor was 10 inches above the lake. Well, everybody knows that you can't do that, and anywhere you're gonna end up with water in the basement. So he closed up the doorway, and that's fine, but he put a rubber dam in there. There's rubber in there 24 feet wide, because I helped him nail it on to the two-by-fours. There's pressure treated two-by-fours that go across above the floor, and then there's rubber, sheet rubber that comes down like this towards the lake. That affects permeability. Now, my memory, I can't tell you if it goes out 12 feet or if it goes out. I don't think it was 24 foot square, but I know it was, he had 16 foot two-by-fours and then had them overlapped in the center and screwed together. Cause I walked to my house and went and got the nails with the plastic washers that you put up vinyl siding with and helped him nail the rubber in there. So he was already at the planning commission meeting, and I gotta be careful here. He was already real close to the amount of square footage on his permeability permit. So I'm here today to make you aware of these things. It's your decision, but I would ask that, similar to what the planning director has done in the past, I would ask you to rescind the permit until he either agrees to. I have nothing to fill against. So I'm gonna have to make a stone barrier within 12 feet of the water, according to the DNR rules, to raise my beach up so that my beach isn't in a hole, which affects my property values. I had a realtor out, she said, absolutely, it affects your property values. So here's gonna be a ditch that was never there created. It's, and like I said, I don't know if this falls under your purview or not, but there was 4 triaxle loads of dirt hauled in there, fill dirt, that was untested. It's all, it's all filled dirt, so it's not, you know yourself, when you dig a hole and then backfill it, that dirt's never gonna stay there, it'll barely grow grass. So, that's what I'm asking
Is
for.
this the same, the other property, is this the same owner, or is this a different owner?
Same owner. Okay, the original owners, when we bought the property, are the ones that got the permit, rebuilt the house and put the walkout basement in. The current owner is the one that came in, closed up the walkout basement. He left two ingress egress windows, but he took the door out and then put this, about this far below the windows is where this rubber dam is, trying to keep, when the lake comes up, if you'd getting a 50-year high water mark or something, he was trying to keep that water from pushing against, because it's all filled dirt. So I don't know where to go from here. You know, I kind of feel like I'm being penalized. I'm gonna have to go buy fill dirt and put rocks in there in order to raise my beach up to protect my property values. And then that creates a problem for the drainage board, the county, everybody else, because when item shows up and says the silt's washing in the lake, I can't, if I owned all the property, or if it was right on the property line, I could put a tile in there and put a drain in and put stone around it and control it. The stone would keep the silt off of the property from washing in the lake, but I can't do that. It's just not- So I have to stop back, the boulders are right here and my property line's back here, so I can only go to here. So I gotta pile of rocks in or something, which is gonna create this.
Are you getting runoff from his property from this?
We've been,
Currently?
we were getting runoff for over 2.5 years, clear back. In fact, I've presented pictures before. I have them on my phone. I didn't bring a lot of stuff because I didn't want to take up a lot of your time today. I actually had to put straw bales down the property line. And all the pictures are in Brian's files to keep their silt from, when we built my dog house, I put yard drains in. I'm real conscious. I've been a steward of the outdoors for my whole life, and we put drain systems in and drain boxes, all the gutter water and everything goes through a drain box to catch the silt, and then it goes to the lake. It was all done with the permits and the DNR position, but yes, to answer your question, I have pictures where water in February and March, when the ground was frozen, and they didn't have any gutters on the house, water was just cascading. We had giant pools we had a pond in the backyard. I had to put a bale of straw over top of the drain and put them down the property line. So the following spring, my daughter didn't like the bales of straw, obviously. So I went in there and put about a 6-inch curb of dirt right along the edge of the fence. To keep to keep the water on their property. And when the current property owner, after he hauled in all that fill, he went right to the top of it. Instead of leaving it at the original grade, so we had the curb, he went right to the top of it. And now when you get down by the lake, it starts out as a depression. And like I said, if I fix my beach, this thing's gonna be it'll be as tall as the boulders. And like I said, he's mowed the grass twice all summer. Not because he's got 10-inch grass or anything. The dirt that he brought in, I don't know where in the hell he got it, but it'll barely grow grass. Nope. So, I don't know, what do you guys?
For sure.
When you guys originally started reviewing these permits, you don't issue the permit, and before, in the minutes recently, you guys have been saying you approve these. In the past, it was just, we don't object to this because there's no impact on a county regulated drain. So, like I said, really, they're not approving anything, they're just not denying it because it doesn't affect the county regulated.
Correct.
Right. So, we probably, for the purpose of the minute,
Yeah.
needs to be stated that way as opposed, hey, we're approving these.
January,
Never were being approved, it was just there's no adverse effect to the
Right.
drainage board, so we do not.
We're okay with it. If it's something that the county regulated drain would have a problem with, then we can say,
in January 1/23 is when the planning department started coming to you guys. Anything that's got a roof that has runoff, you guys have to approve, and that's
For
Mark.
their ordinance, not for ours. And that was per that new ordinance, not for our drainage ordinance.
So, and that's what I'm asking you to do.
Stuff.
Yeah,
I'm asking you to rescind your approval. Which will tell the property owner, okay, you gotta come back here
We
and
could-
tell
I don't
us.
think we can,
Approval wasn't.
but I don't
for
think we
the
can
bill.
do that.
We could restate and say, well, cause,
Yeah.
'cause that was the drainage board's position, was as long as it didn't affect. But we weren't actually issuing a permit.
Right, permit
Right.
was actually issued by
Right,
Brian.
Or even approval, you just.
Yeah, we
Right,
just saying it
so-
can't, it's not gonna bother a county regulated drain.
okay, but it's creating a new drain to the lake, and what if item comes in here and says.
That's
Well,
between
let
the
me-
landowner
let
and
me-
I.
I say that's between the landowner and
Let me
IDEM,
change my
yeah.
let me change my request to rescind your approval until he addresses these other issues.
Or do we just make a statement saying it doesn't affect any county regulated drains, therefore however whatever wording we use prior to that, yes, that's,
So they need to rescind, I mean, the
Yeah,
permit.
they need to, not us, the drainage board. We
Yeah,
will-
well, he told me it had to come here first before he could approve it.
I'm not sure why.
Well, the steps are to come through us before it's taken over there for final approval, but it's just one of the steps.
It's just us saying, hey, this isn't gonna
Doesn't
affect the
affect-
county regulated
yeah.
drain, so. See you later, it's good, we're fine with it, for the drainage board fact. So I'm not sure that we can rescind anything, right?
Based on how we made our
Yeah.
approval.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you had all the information, you know.
I think that'd still be on Brian to
But it's still
rescind it.
not a county
Yeah,
regulated
there's,
drainage.
it's just a drain, it's just be an issue between you and your neighbor,
in
an
our
IDEM.
bill.
more than it would be anybody on the
Or
drainage,
DNR.
or DNR, yeah. So I,
cause we don't issue permits.
Can he go to IDEM and say, hey, this is what
I
I've
would say
got,
could, yeah,
and this is what's gonna happen, I don't wanna do this.
that's where I would go first, is IDEM.
Have
Do you
talked-
have jurisdiction over general drainage or just specifically your?
The drainage board can recommend. But we have no, if it's not a county regulated drain, we really don't have anything to enforce.
And again, we've just dealt with that with the highway, I mean, if somebody goes and dumps a bunch of boulders in front of a culvert and it creates a dam out in their field. It's not. I
Well,
mean,
they're just trying to
we-
keep their field dirt from going and plugging up your
Well,
tile.
but it's backing up big, and even if it's backing up water on the neighbor, there's a process, I mean, they have to file an obstruction or remove, or they have to send
Yeah.
certified letters.
Correct.
It was like a process that goes through there too, that may be, I mean, that may be an avenue where you have to.
Consider it an obstruction to drainage.
No, that was just an example of
Yeah.
where we don't, I mean, you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have
I mean,
direct
if the
authority
boulders
over
were
something.
sitting there where water was backing up and causing it to come over onto you. And we could, prove it was happening because of those
Well, I
boulders there.
mean, that's the,
You would send them a
that's the problem. I can't get the pictures that I've taken to
Yeah.
demonstrate that that is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, you have to have,
All these boulders,
Proof.
and it's this high, and then yard slopes like this, well, when it gets to the corner of the boulder, there's already a ditch like this deep
yeah,
that's coming down alongside the boulders, and that water's going across my beach. And the DNR told me I have to control it, so I had to put a cement curb in there to hold my sand on the beach. And now, when I put this, I bought a pile of rocks from a farmer,
mhm,
and I'm gonna pile rocks up there and,
I'd have given you
Put-
rocks.
huh?
I'd
Yeah,
have given you rock,
these were already picked up and in a pile, all I had to drive up.
I'd still given them.
Yeah, I'm not walking across the field, I did that when I was, no, I'm not doing that no more.
But if we have proof that there's an obstruction there and you can prove that, then the first thing you do is send a certified letter to them, asking them to remove the obstruction within 30 days. If they do not remove the obstruction, then you come in here and you would file an actual complaint to the drainage board. And then we would have to have a hearing and there's a step that way.
It's kind of
You're
not
talking
an
about county
obstruction,
regulated
it's pushing
drain.
it over onto him, do you call it,
That's-
an You'd still
That's where
consider
I'm
it an
at.
obstruction?
You'd have to figure out where the obstruction is. If it's obstructing the natural flow coming off of your property,
Onto his property.
yeah.
Is there something similar if you are diverting, if you're diverting water that would have went?
Now that's more into legal.
Right, it's not against the law in the state of Indiana for him to drain his water on me. But I'm also allowed to respond to that. And I got two ways to do it. I can build a dam. And that's why I came to you guys. I'm on the council. I represent the county. This started long before I ever thought of running. And I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna wash silt in there. But I'm tired of jumping through hoops. I'm not a trained monkey. I just got a letter from Brian that says, I went to the BZA meeting, well, you're in the wrong venue, you need to come over here. So I asked to be put on the agenda. Then I get a letter back that says, no, you need to go to the BZA and pay a $200 fee. Well, I'm done with that. So I can build a rock wall and somebody can deal with item, but it won't be me. So that's why I thought I'd try you guys and see if, I thought you issued a permit and then he issued a permit, or you
Ours
guys
is-
gave an
ours is
approval. And
approval.
then he,
Yeah,
but I know it has to come here first.
yeah.
Anything with a roof.
Right,
And like I said, our ordinance is basically written, so little things like that shouldn't come to us, but then
they just stay over there, but
that ordinance,
Okay,
yeah,
the big ordinance.
thanks for your time. Can I have my picture?
yeah. Is your wall right here down to keep your sand? Is that what you're talking about, the concrete wall? Down here?
Okay, this is our property.
Yeah,
Okay, this beach and this beach used to be the same all the way down to my house. That's my shed. I live
Oh,
all,
okay, you're
this
on-
is my daughter's house.
I got you.
All this is where all them, and there was a hole, this thing here. The hole in front of his house that you can't see was so deep that you couldn't see this standing on the ground. It was over the top of
I
this
see
thing.
pictures from.
So now he's put these boulders in. Now, if he moves them boulders over here 10 feet. Where his gazebo got approved, now that restores the normal flow of the water to the lake.
Yeah,
Cause you can see right there, there's a yard drain right there, and then it
Yeah.
runs over here, and there's a piece of cement under it.
gotcha.
And this yard drain's got a silt box in the bottom, so what I'm saying is, to answer your question, right here, I'm gonna drive fence posts in, put a piece of, cattle panel in here, and then I'm gonna pile field stones this big,
Mhm.
and then between them boulders and this boulders I put in, then I can go from here over to there and get my beach out of the hole.
I gotcha. Okay,
And
gotcha.
that creates a 1 foot wide, 3 foot deep
Yep.
ditch.
Makes sense. Get it now.
Thank you.
Also kind of
Thanks.
messes up your beach though, doesn't it?
Hmm,
Kind of messes up your beach.
what it is now, yeah.
Well, even if you do that, it's gonna change the level of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up, there's already a cement curb underneath the sand. I'm gonna have to put, the walls, patio wall, patio, so, what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
facing the water with a set of steps to go down into the lake. And then the beach will be from the patio stones, they interlock and you put pins in them.
yeah,
That's gonna go across here, but then on his side, I'm gonna put boulders,
gotcha.
cause that way the water's got a way to get out. I don't end up with a lake.
Okay.
I hate,
Thanks, Dave.
I hate
Thank
the
you.
part
Just
that
feel
you
like-
think that,
What
I don't want you thinking that we're
Good.
giving you the runaround, but unless it
Yeah,
affects
so much.
a regulated drain, it's all our authority goes to. It
Well,
really,
just a minute, Jeff, this is a misunderstanding on my part. I thought you guys
Okay, yeah, cause he did.
yeah,
give a permit.
it sounds,
Like a-
You could give a permit. for
it
approval.
sounds like to me, it needs to go back to the planning commission.
Well, and that's what I said, and I asked to be on the agenda, and then I got, because I was disputing 6.4.2. And
And again.
the planning director's interpretation of it, and he told me that that's a field, has to go back to the BZA, and I gotta pay a $200.
Mhm.
He's in there calling every time I didn't think I was that, so.
I would think,
It's under old business, I'll
Yeah.
be there.
I would think it would be just back to the planning commission. It's-
I
that-
would make a phone call to IDEM first, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, I'm just saying, if it was me owning the house, that's who I would call. If not, if you can't work it out with your neighbor, I would call IDEM. That would be my, It'd be nice.
Basically, what you'd like to see is the rocks moved over to the edge of the gazebo.
Correct, because my contention all along was, it took 5 months. To get the interpretation of a structure identified by the planning commission. So he removed it because under the interpretation, he can put a gazebo in and he doesn't need. Okay, well, you guys, under what I saw, what he's got a copy of over there, he has to be 10 feet over with the gazebo because of the side setback. My contention is the boulder should have been moved too. Even if he only moves them 8 feet and then restores the grade. That restores my property values, my beaches in a hole.
yeah,
And you probably all heard about me sitting in a chair, you know, I was trying to give the BZA a visual. That, you know, and you can see it clearly in that picture, if my teenage granddaughters are laying out there in the sand. You know, and they're having a party, you know. Kind of like what we saw on the screen today, only not quite as bad,
yeah,
so. And like I said, who, you know, who wants to sit down here and, you know, it'd be like, it's kind of like this. And you're sitting down there on the beach and you got a pile of rocks here and people up there, you know, and they're, no, that's.
Yeah.
Taking up enough of your time, have a great day.
Thanks,
Good
Dave.
week.
Thanks, Dave.
see ya.
See ya.
Go and careful in your travels.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, the Ray Figert.
Which is what I couldn't get to read the print over there.
Okay, so let's,
No, I mean, I got part
Okay.
of it.
all right, let's go to the next one.
No, staples are backwards. Basically, this is my report for the Ray Figert for the reconstruction of the drain. And then the map that I have indicates where we're going to work. And this is, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Rowan, but Riverdale Farms out here west of Rowan.
Mhm.
And it's basically got some sand and stuff there that we talked about it at one of our other meetings. But we're gonna reconstruct from the outlet down to where the branch comes in. And this is an estimate that I have for it. Which includes bank loan, engineering. So we're talking 217,842, which we know at the last one. How much less our engineer, or not engineering, but our contract came in for. So hopefully that'll be the same.
Is this one that
Did you find
got
out,
to sign off on Miami County?
Yes.
Okay,
did you ever find out where Layman's and, seems like there were two people, Layman's and somebody else had ran through? Like they had already done some,
Oh, that was all down here at the very
and
upper end. They
okay,
redid, and you didn't have, did you bring a map of that?
so are we not
That's
touching
what I
that?
have on that
I
one.
mean,
It's
no,
on.
it's over,
No,
it's
Huh?
over on the
We're just
Miami
doing all
County
of
line, yeah.
well, I didn't know
And
how far we were coming across.
yeah, you
Here
did,
to here.
it showed everything that they
Then that
did.
one's over here. That's not on here.
Okay, I thought you had one, but anyway, we have a map that shows everything that they put in.
So we're just doing this to this on.
That's what was
Codden Terrace now.
planned before. They did around, for what I can estimate, looking at their invoices, which is hard to figure out, around $6,000 worth of work. That would have been ours to pay for if they would have come and talked to us prior
For the maintenance of
for
it.
the maintenance.
Is there
Thank
any
you.
in the maintenance fund?
So I'm here. I've been off for a few days too.
No. I've been off for quite a few days. so-
Oh. I had a balance in here somewhere. Glasses on my head. Hope I didn't fail to put that on there.
I saw something this week,
So we still have to have a hearing.
right there.
Yes,
on
oh
it.
yeah,
4,492.
that's what the 4-year balance is. And maybe I didn't get it on here because I had it, that's what I'm. I'm recommending go to $6 with a 25, but that's maintenance. We'll talk about that in just a second.
So
I guess I failed. to put
that's
that
all
in.
on Todd and Mary's ground is, are the,
No, that's mostly on Riverdale. You're not.
Oh, is it?
Todd and
Oh,
Mary
okay.
hardly at all.
oh, okay.
Now, I know when Braden was talking to Todd.
I
'cause
thought
he
maybe
got
that
to
whole field
survey
was
it.
theirs. Okay.
No, talking to Todd, they would like to do more, so with $200,000 and looking at the assessments. We're gonna stop at our original plan, but I have asked Banning to go ahead and give us something going on, if they decide they wanna go on, we do have a plan for it.
Yeah. I
While
agree
we're
with that.
working.
We're just a little too noisy for her, I guess.
Scared the crap out of me.
Those old doors.
Usually I shut it before we start. So basically, we're gonna go ahead and have them present a plan for the main part of it, what we've got, but then we'll have extra additional on there, which is not included in the estimate. It's
So-
not gonna be in the price I send out.
You're asking that for Todd and Mary, that's not being worked on?
No, that's what we're adding
Gotcha.
for the hearing.
This is what,
This is what we're gonna send out that we're gonna do.
Yep.
But we're gonna have this.
that's
Cause
what-
sometimes
there's another
even
one right
they'll
there.
say, well, prices come in at this rate, can we do an
Gotcha.
additional?
And then there.
Oh, I didn't see that red
I
mark
didn't
up
either
there.
until you just.
Well, I
pointed
see
to
the
me.
red mark there, but I
I
thought
see
it was
that
really
there.
close to, I didn't think it was, okay.
I should have used a different color for the watershed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were you thinking?
yeah. Come on.
Wasn't.
You said make mistake.
That wasn't a
I
mistake.
said, wait a minute.
Blunder.
I about said something about the watershed line and I thought, nope, I'm not gonna be critical.
Yeah, cause it blends in right
Yeah.
there. And then Miami County signed off
Yes,
there.
and we're not doing anything on the branch at this point.
Well, they'd be
There
smart.
is a, pardon?
They'd be smart if there was something wrong there. Wow, whoever we have doing it to do it, but Miami County won't do that.
Well, it's our drain, so we're the one that's.
Oh, we have to go
responsible for
into,
it.
even into Miami County, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have a joint drain, you
sure.
include anything within that watershed,
It's-
we're in charge of it. But looking at cost, this is where we're at, but I usually work on the mains first,
Yep,
and then we'll start working on branches.
okay,
Unless they're so bad, we have to do something.
right,
But I think he has repaired some of it on his own, not told us.
okay.
It's Heilman, so. So anyway, without having a report for you. On that, cause it wouldn't print, my suggestion was $236 an acre and 20 cents. And I had $125 minimum on that. So I guess that's the minimums, basically the drainage board, how they feel about that. Of course, the price per acre is just how it calculates out. It's all ag zoned, so then that's why we stick with a rate per acre. So, talking about that hearing that we went to. So that's why we do that. And that's the way it's been assessed in the past, is all rate per acre, same rate per acre. So I guess if you guys are okay with the rate per acre and the minimum, then that's what we'll go ahead and get ready to send out on. But you're welcome to look at
Is that minimum gonna cover it? I mean,
the 125, that's just a minimum. Like if they're under the rate per acre, like someone might be $50, we raised it to 125. There's really no set rule on what you set your minimums at. So.
Okay.
I know with maintenance, I try to do 4 times what the rate is. Reconstruction is a little more difficult to figure out. Sometimes I set a minimum of $250 and nobody catches that minimum. It's all higher than $250. I think you only have one that's gonna catch this minimum.
Yeah, I'm all right with what the plans propose.
I have had them at $250 an acre, but you're talking quite a bit more money.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't know if we need to, we need to vote on it.
You just need to accept the report is what you'll need to do, subject to change because of anything that might change if I update assessments, there's a
Right.
split, something like that, before I get it sent out. Could change it somewhat, but for the basic part of the report, you need to accept that.
I'll move to accept the plan,
I'll second that.
I have,
subject to
Subject to-
changes.
yep. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose the same. Motion
Now.
carries.
On the report also is maintenance, so we're gonna talk about maintenance.
Okay.
With this one, it does have an existing maintenance, it's $1.25 an acre with a $5 minimum. That's all in this other part of it, on how all the maintenance transpired.
Mhm.
It's not enough. And it tells you, and I think it brings in a 4-year balance of $4,000,
Mhm.
when we already just spent 6,000. We would have if we would have been doing that upper end. Right now, my suggestion was $6 an acre with a $25 minimum. And I think it tells you in there what that brings in.
It would bring in a 4-year balance of $23,472.92.
Now, the board's okay with that, they can accept it, if you wanna raise it, you can raise it, whatever you feel. I first started out thinking $8 an acre, then you could always drop it down. But that's up to the board members, what they feel.
But once it gets to that.
4
it gets
years,
to-
it's, yeah,
It
it's
stops.
not off.
Yeah. I'm okay with the $6. It needs to be increased. It hadn't been increased since. I don't know, what does that say? 1980?
Mhm.
So hadn't been increased since 1980.
I'm okay with the $6.
40 years.
Yeah, at $3. I bet that was astronomical 44 years ago to somebody. Now,
I was here.
I'm okay with the $6. We need to put that in
Yeah,
there.
you wanna accept the,
Yep,
and that's what those, you can see what those, cause that report did print, cause I reprinted it before all this catastrophe happened.
so I'd entertain a motion to raise the maintenance to $6.
Second,
Have a motion, a second to raise it to $6 from $3 at a minimum 25. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Pose the same. Aye, scared.
And one of the reasons I'm adding quite a bit of cost on it is 30 inches, because we're talking about putting a sock on it. So, oh, and back up the track here a little bit. Our engineer Max has moved on, and he's in Wisconsin. So I'm switching back to Joe for now. So there's gonna be some delay in some things because we're minus our engineer at this point.
Okay,
Did Joe say, are they planning on replacing that position or?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and I hesitate on using Joe too much because he costs more. Cause he's a head engineer. Where Max wasn't. I do want to, once we get this from Joe. You guys are actually supposed to set the hearing date, but if it's okay with you. As soon as I get everything back from Joe, which should be before too much longer now. Could I go ahead and set the hearing date 30 to 40 days out?
yeah,
Okay, then I'll get with you guys on when that date is. Hopefully it'll be, I can set it within this next week.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that Ray Finder thing?
Frank Truss.
Yes. I put all the numbers together with what I can come up with, and it looks like we need a loan of 80,000
$500.
Oh, did I switch it? Shoot. Well, it's supposed to be 80,900, but that's when all the catastrophe started. I could switch that real quick,
Okay,
and then I will get it back to you guys, but $80,900. For the calculation, so I took the contract and all the items, expenses, and according to Indiana code, I can update those 10%. And I added the 10% on to get the amount of the bank loan. So if you guys are approval of that, then I'll have to get the number.
yeah, the number.
This is my next, you can switch that, I'll
Yep.
run over and do that real quick before we leave. So I need a motion for
Yep.
you guys to approve that.
Make a motion for the Frank Trust loan or. Drain at $80,900 bank loan.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries.
Brad Reynolds.
Beth Reynolds. They have started.
Braden has gone out and met with them. Well, first of all, IDEM, I've been in contact with Evan White from IDEM. He said that they needed to do a 368 review, which I'm shocked at how fast. Supposedly they got this 368 review. Braden went out to check to see if they'd done any work, because IDEM wanted to know. Went out there and Evan had told him they'd already had their,
Yeah, they had, within 3 days, consent to go, but not documented written consent. Just a verbal consent from IDEM.
I can't get Mr. White went on vacation then, and I've been emailing him. Can you give me your report? Can you let me know? I thought we would be a part of that. And no answer. So I don't know what's going on, but as you can see, when you look at the second map, the red dots are what they've already installed.
Yeah, they did not.
You mean the one that's on top?
No, the
There's all
second
kinds of
one.
red dots.
Is there? Is that the one on
The
top?
second one, they're slightly pink.
Red dots are on top, yeah.
Say
Okay.
what now, Braden?
Oh, you kept it.
Yeah, I kept the top one, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is what they've already done.
Wow. And they've actually put in their 36-inch line next to the open, but they have not filled the open yet.
They didn't go in the open like planned. They went in probably about 60 feet east. Cause they
So
didn't,
they could go ahead and,
Approval.
yeah,
yeah. So they have not filled the open, but they've taken all the water out of it and have it in the tile right now. So as soon as they get their written approval, they can go in and shove that in. Which I would have thought they wouldn't have been able to have done that, but
So we just need to wait on, I mean, they're going. I mean,
it would be done this week if the rate they're going.
and then if he comes back from vacation, that's a point.
no, he is back.
He is
Just
back.
has not answered my email. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is back,
That's
and
on
in
them.
fact, I came in twice
Right?
while I was
That's on
off
them.
to check and see if
It might technically be.
Ooh, busy.
it's a regulated drain.
So I say it's gonna come back on us.
Comes back on us even though they're. the
It could
ones
be
that-
because it's a regulated drain, and that's
They
what
put- I know they put the money in it, but it's still a regular.
IDEM told me to begin with. He said, if you guys don't follow the rules, it can come back on the county. Cause it's a county.
That's why we thought it was weird that IDEM didn't invite us to their little, meeting.
Cause I was in touch with him.
Oh man, they're gonna be done for sure this week.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
And then I have to make sure that when they get down. Which ways? When they get down in here, because their plan is to come down to here and go this way. And I said, well, we have to make sure this isn't cut off. Well, I guess it's down here. He didn't have enough of them. It's down here farther.
Yes.
Yeah, it's clear down in here.
Yeah,
Right here's the curve.
Yeah, but this guy down here comes in. We have to make sure we don't cut that off.
okay, I guess that's the only here from my day.
And then you'll see that they're attached, how they attach their laterals in is on there too. They just basically concrete them in.
Yeah.
Which is little.
Do we need to kind of keep checking?
He's
see
been
where-
going out
To see where they
every day.
Yeah.
I'm
are?
afraid they finished it.
I've been trying to, yeah, that's my fear, is to map it as they go, that way I
Mhm.
don't get too far behind on it,
Yeah,
you know what's going on.
Okay, just keep us updated on what you hear from IDEM.
It should
Will do.
definitely affect how we approve things with them in the future if this is the way they're gonna.
And, you know, he gave all his statistics when he was set, how the maintenance shouldn't be. He didn't include inflation, he didn't include the age of the tile. All those kind of things needed to be taken into consideration because there's other tile out there that's gonna break down.
Mhm. It's in
And
that watershed.
yes, yes, so there was a lot, the numbers kind of went in their favor. Braden had talked to Cole about this when I was gone, Bertha Trickle. Drain, this is the one that we did the tile through Lake,
This is on the
yeah,
road.
Laketon. And it was through the ARPA funds. And this is just kind of like off to the side of it a little bit. So I don't know what's going on. It does need to be looked at because they've been once and that's done this again.
But Kevin went and looked at it and he did look up his pipe and saw everything was intact, or he did not.
I did not talk to Kevin because I was gone, but I need to talk to Kevin. If you haven't, I will. talk-
Kevin Brainerd?
Yeah, he's the one that
did this
installed it.
project.
So I will talk to Kevin and see what he thinks on it. But as far as funding, this ditch is not a certified drain. That's
And
why
if
we
it's
did it
just a
through ARPA.
joint, wouldn't be
It's
terrible.
deep.
It's deep.
Yes, it is deep,
How deep?
over your head, way over your head.
10 feet, 8 feet?
Ish.
That
Ish.
hole is that deep?
Well, the pipe,
Well, the
it
pipe
can
is
be.
that deep.
Oh, okay.
If it's at a joint,
So
that's
I don't know whether
sucking
there's
down 8
something
feet.
else that didn't get connected in somewhere. I don't know. It's just kind of strange.
So we need to reach out to Kevin and do some investigation in it. Okay?
But you gotta think about funding. If it's nothing that he did wrong, then somebody has to pay for it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess let's figure out, get with Kevin and figure that out. And then it'll come, I mean, it's gotta be done, it's a sinkhole, or
Yeah.
somebody gets hurt.
Yes,
Do we have something out there showing that it's there? Like, you know, for
There-
a
I mean,
bicycle
there
rider or
was,
somebody
I
that,
mean, they probably took it down when they filled the hole.
yeah, there wasn't anything when we were out
No.
there.
They
It
filled
does
the hole.
kinda go, yeah, they filled it once to see what was going on. 'Cause
And it
it's a
sucked
brand new
even though-
pipe,
That's not good. That means it's,
and it hasn't
Definitely
been
sucked.
filled that long, really.
what do you think?
I don't know how it was filled or who by who, whether they just threw a shovel full on top of it and didn't fill the void that was there to begin with. I mean, that's, I mean, a little bit of a concern before Kevin goes out, we'd start digging things up. I mean,
Let's go up and look
they
at it.
ought to, I mean, they should have saw cut it a
Yes.
little larger.
Yeah,
They
Who
should
doesn't?
I would agree.
Not at all.
I know we
I
did one in
saw-
Urbana, but I didn't know we had one in
Right.
Laketon.
yeah.
So this was new to me. I haven't heard anything about the Urbana one either, that it's sucking, so.
We have-
Like I said, again. Personally, the first step would be, like I said, cut it out big enough to where you can get a plate compactor in it, get the stone compacted.
Yes,
And then put material over, not throw a shovel full in a hole and say, hey, I filled it.
Yeah.
But
The
Mhm.
one in Urbana has not sunk. I've looked at it recently.
Okay.
It looks pretty good.
and that one we did saw cut and
Yes,
put in, so
yes,
we'll talk to, who went up and looked at it, we'll figure that out. Shoot. Talk with Dylan. see
okay,
what
so
he
you want me to
said.
not call Kevin or?
I think we need to investigate it first to make sure it's not,
Have it
so
properly first, then if
Yes.
it happens again.
then we contact
I mean,
Kevin.
that's the easiest first, that's the easiest and most logical first step is just to make sure you have a good.
ink on your pants.
Well,
On
freaking
Monday
good
night.
hands. So I quit carrying one in my pocket, cause it freaking
Hairspray
exploded.
and
Yep.
spray on it,
I get stains on myself everywhere, all the time.
just like a child.
I am. Alright, we'll go check it out first and prepare
Okay.
it correctly, and then we can have that conversation if it starts
And
sucking.
you guys will
again.
talk to the guy,
Yeah,
Dylan,
I'll talk
whatever.
to Dylan.
Okay,
He
I was
wants
gonna
to
say, I
talk
can call him if
anyways,
you want me to, okay,
it'll just be in the list of things to talk to him about.
okay. You want a picture or anything?
Yeah,
I just need one of them, but,
yeah. Take this,
okay,
I don't want somebody to flip.
okay.
I did that on purpose for scale.
Yeah, no, I figured, but.
Laketon.
Cause I'm gonna get questions like, what's the foot about? I don't need those questions, so. Okay.
Drainage. Drainage plans. And a. Yeah. That one.
Okay. Shed. Okay.
We just need to make sure we state. Like what Tyler said, yeah,
No adverse effect to
no
it, right?
adverse effect to county drain, cause. Yeah.
Remember we get big, subdivisions and things like that. Yes, we look at those things. But these little. Pergolas and sheds,
Yeah. Plus,
they shouldn't even be, according to our ordinance, they shouldn't even be brought over to us.
hopefully some of this.
So this
will
one makes a little more
change when-
sense.
When they get the
Yeah, when they
stuff
get
with
their-
banning finished.
Yeah,
This one's a modular home, so it doesn't have any effect on,
County
Any
regulated drain,
drains?
and there was no.
Okay.
I think it was one where there was existing house.
full building, doesn't.
So. These are stapled all kinds of which.
Those are just like,
Well, we used to get windows, so
oh man, so glad that's not the case anymore.
yeah.
windows and siding.
Rest of it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, there's sheds and garages and. Nothing affects any of the county regulated drains, so.
No,
Like there's so many processes anymore, and steps you gotta go through and. Yes,
this one's interesting because I'm in the middle of a divorce. When I was. That's, somebody's keeping the house apparently.
that's all one.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, that's the goal, is-
Yeah,
maintenance spread.
He's gonna live in that?
yeah,
Which we need to revisit that at some point
She's gonna
too.
live in it.
And what do you wanna revisit?
I don't know, because those farmers were all. They were
Which,
pissed
they
off.
weren't for us, though.
I think it was all the spraying we were doing.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's a county spray. Our spray, generally people are happy with.
Okay,
no, I've not heard complaints
good.
No,
on open ditches.
we've been doing it for,
So Aaron Matter talked to me about.
30
this,
years.
just this spray. He's the one that called me
well,
first.
he was the one that was confused because he was told to call me. And everything was all confused about whether it was county drain or, but that was not us
Okay.
either.
So that's what Aaron
'Cause
called me
he had
about.
no- He had,
That's what I said, I don't know
he had
exactly.
no open ditches on any of his,
They said we mow them, and I said, you mow your open ditches?
No.
I said, I'd like to see what you're mowing that with, but, so then he came in and they were the whole list
yeah.
were here, but, so that was just for the other, not for the.
That's what I'm understanding
You
with
say
talking to people
Open
later.
ditch to a landowner, a lot of times they think the road ditch
Right,
is a ditch.
well, that's what I asked Aaron when I was on the phone with him. I said, you talking about your open ditch or your side ditch? And he said, his open ditch, and I said, okay, what's the problem? So that's why I was,
Yeah.
and I got him a hold of Dalton's because of it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
we
Aaron
were
Matter that should have
understanding
taken it.
later that it was the spray crew. I mean,
Do you need a signature on this?
No. I can do that.
Are you
It's
guys
just
planning?
maintenance. You just have to approve it because it is a.
Okay, so I entertain a motion for the permits first.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second for the permits. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Uh,
Opposed, same. Those pass, and then this one is for the spraying at the open ditches. So we need approval on that.
Are these?
Nothing,
Those are all the invoices
yeah,
there.
just all the invoices.
Each ditch is invoiced separately.
If you want to look at it.
But round total of that.
For those three, and then the next one will have more, next one will have more.
And just for the record, Matt Kennedy did call me and complain with his ditch spraying. But he wasn't complaining about the spraying or anything. He was complaining because he has a walnut tree here
And they hit it.
and they got the tire up on it. But as you can see, if he wouldn't have got any closer, he would have rolled his machine down in our ditch. This tree should come down. And you're not gonna get that tree down without fight.
Mhm.
So he wants to continue to spray the ditch on his own. Now Braden did contact him and ask him how to go in, and the guy went in the way he told him to. So he was not happy with the tree being.
Yeah.
When the tree is indefinitely
What about the one that's
within our
back?
right of way, yeah, they all, there's like a
I was
cluster.
just saying, what, can't we take some of the other ones down and,
They're all
That-
on the,
okay.
yeah, we could.
Everything's in a right.
yeah, okay. Before we move on to that, make a motion,
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you.
yeah, I move we pay the claims.
I'll second that.
I've had that motion in a second on the ditch claims for the spraying. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same. There you go.
Yeah, he didn't complain about the spraying or anything like that. He complained because of the damage to his tree. So he asked that he be, and fill out the forms that he can spray it himself, and I told him we would still inspect it. And if we found that he wasn't keeping up with it, we would be spraying it again,
Yep.
and the tree would probably come out.
More
Cause the
than-
tree's getting big enough
And
that
he will be billed.
And yes, it's not gonna be,
it's in that thing that they
Yeah.
would be,
I mean,
yeah.
they look like.
And the one
like a
tree,
sapling tree, like
well,
I,
if you look at that one. the
That
bark's
one's
all
got lots
busted
of
and
Yeah.
everything.
damage on it.
That was one of them, he was zero ruts out too.
$15,000 tree.
that's a $15,000
Yeah.
tree, I
That's
don't,
what he claimed.
I feel like oak tree needs to be a little bit bigger and before it's worth that much,
Well,
but,
that's a walnut.
or walnut, even still.
So those are the
Okay.
things I had. I'll run over and get that, so you guys can.
Sign it.
Families on it, unfortunately.
Is that it then?
All I have, unless you guys had something.
No, entertain a motion to adjourn, then we can figure out the other stuff.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second to adjourn, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Okay.
We are adjourned.
Are you guys planning on attending the budget hearings